Jessie woo, VBS. I just turn the water on. Big old flex. She never saw before. He's chasing me like waterfall. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Just a Couple Things, y'all. Your favorite podcast hosted by me, your sister, Jessie Woo. Thank you so much for coming back and listening to another episode of Just a Couple Things. Now, I know we're coming out later this week, but as some of you guys know, I am actually in the middle of shooting a movie. I have another week to go. I have another week and 2 days to go. So pray for my strength. I'm still trying to keep up with stuff while I go film this movie. I have to be on set by 7. It is 5:12 right now. So pray my strength that I could get through this, give y'all this tea, and I could get to work. But anyway, y'all, so before we move forward, please, are you following me on all streaming platforms that stream podcasts? Hello. Click that follow button. Go to the Apple People podcast stuff. Click follow. Go to the Spotify people. Click follow, okay? And hit follow on every streaming platform that broadcasts podcasts so you can tune into Just a Couple Things every week. And you get it on the audio first, okay? Just want to make that clear. You get the audio first, okay? All right, let's get into Just a Couple Things, child. Before we get into Just a Couple Things, I want to mention this. It is Black Women's People Be Gay Black Women's Month, and I have yet to do like my coochie list. Now, I'm not gay, but I got me a little coochie list. Okay. Does that make me gay? I got me a little coochie list. These are some coochies that I wouldn't mind bumping my coochie against. Okay. These are my top 5 coochies that I wouldn't mind bumping my purse against. Okay. Number 5, Robin Roberts. I just feel like Robin Roberts got some Cinnabon coochie. First and foremost, hold on. Did y'all know that Robin Roberts was gay? I didn't know that. I did not know that, okay? And now that explains why where them fans at? Why she was dancing like that to where them fans at? She was just throwing coochie. Did y'all see Robin Roberts just throwing that Cinnabon coochie all left and right like that? Everything makes sense now. Number 5, Robin Roberts. I feel like she got that Cinnabon coochie. That Cinnabon coochie, okay? Cinnabon coochie. White people love Cinnabon coochie. And she got a white wife, so she got the Cinnabon coochie during Juneteenth Black Women's Month, okay? Juneteenth ends early for you, all right? Your Juneteenth ends at 3 p.m. Okay, Robin Roberts? Okay. At number 4, Tiana Taylor. She got that pound cake coochie. Pound cake there's never a wrong time for pound cake. And I feel like Tiana Taylor, that's self-explanatory. Okay. She got that round the clock coochie. It's never a wrong time for pound cake and it's never a wrong time for Tiana Taylor. Okay. Number 3, Jerry Johnson. Jerry Johnson to me got that peach cobbler coochie. That little peach cobbler coochie. It's something ooey gooey about Jerry Johnson to me. I had the pleasure of hanging out with her in Jamaica one year. And my sister, she just gives off ooey gooey. Okay, put a little ice cream on top. Baby, you warm that peach cobbler up. Put that little ice cream on top. Jerry Johnson, you got that peach cobbler coochie. I'm just saying. Niecy Nash. Niecy Nash to me has that. You ever spend a long time away from your mother's cooking and you finally get a plate of it? And since it's Black Women Juneteenth, Black Women's Month, one of my favorite desserts from Black Americans is sweet potato pie. And I just feel like it's especially good when I haven't had it in months and suddenly Thanksgiving comes around and a Black American blesses me with sweet potato pie. I feel like Niecy Nash has sweet potato pie coochie. Like, it's good, but you get that reminder when you come back home and you just want to lay up in that sweet potato pie. She got that sweet potato pie coochie. I just know it. And number 1 goes to Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Yes. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I feel like Halle Berry just got that honey bun coochie. My Lord. Put that honey bun in the microwave 30 seconds, 1 minute if you're dangerous. But you put that right on into the microwave for a good 30 seconds. Ooh, it just melts in your mouth. I just feel like Halle Berry melts in your mouth. She got that honey bun coochie. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what black women's you feel have that coochie you'd love to bump your purse up against. Those are my top 5. All right, we're still in Just a Couple Things. Last weekend, I forgot to talk about this in my last podcast, but last weekend, there were a lot of protests happening. Was it last weekend or was it during the week? There was the No Kings protests, right? So you guys know we had the ICE raids protests that were happening. And then for Donald Duck's birthday, he decided that he wanted to have a Hitler-style parade, which nobody showed up, but the entire country was outside all over the place having a No Kings protest where, people were just basically saying, listen, we don't want a dictator. We don't want an authoritarian. But mind you, y'all had the time to protest back in November during elections. That was the perfect time to protest. Anyway, the country is in protest of this man, and he's using millions and millions of dollars to throw himself a birthday parade, money that could go into our pockets, into the economy. And instead, he's spending that money to feed his ego. And while these protests were happening, guess who wished him a happy birthday? The Shade Room. The fucking Shade Room, right? Now, they got their asses handed to them and they quickly deleted the post, but, Google doesn't delete. Google still has the receipts of y'all wishing that man a happy birthday while the fucking country is on fire. And I just want to take this time to talk about the owner of the Shade Room. Angelica Nwandu, you are Nigerian. You are a child of Nigerian immigrants, right? And you're choosing a time to promote and celebrate this man while so many Black immigrants are being thrown into basements with no electricity, no water, no food. They're being flown into countries that some of them have never been to. The amount of Black and brown immigrants who have fallen victim to what's happening with these ICE raids right now, for you to choose that moment, for you to choose these moments to wish this man a happy birthday, it's beyond xenophobic to me. That be the type of shit I be talking about. Xenophobia is not just a diaspora war between Black Americans and other Blacks. No, it happens between other groups of Black folks. The Shade Room constantly thinks that Donald Trump is a comedian. They've been promoting Donald Trump as someone who's doing stand-up with these funny, these comedic captions when they're posting him, not taking what he says seriously, spreading misinformation amongst Black folks. Like, I blame a lot of misinformation that happened during this last campaign season and this last election when it came to Trump and when it came to everything. I blame a lot of the misinformation that was spread amongst Black folks online on the Shade Room. Angelica Nwandu, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are a whole Nigerian woman, a child of immigrants. Like, you should take your platform more seriously. Spreading misinformation and literally just thinking that this Trump shit is a fucking joke while Black and brown immigrants who did not vote for this are being thrown into dark rooms with no certainty of where they're going. Like, wake the fuck up, ho. Like, do better, bitch. Do the fuck better with your fucking platform, ho. Like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, this Juneteenth Black Women's Week, all Black folks need to unfollow the Shade Room. Even till today, like, they're still posting certain things, and it's like, y'all, what is happening with y'all? Remember how the Shade Room was at the inaugural ball? They were down there tap dancing with Snoop Dogg too. And Black folks, y'all will cancel folks like Chrisette Michelle, and like y'all will cancel folks but still follow the Shade Room. 29 million people still follow the Shade Room. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. All right, still at Just a Couple Things, child. Oprah denies attending Puff Daddy parties alongside TD Jakes. So recently at the Good Soil Forum, TD Jakes and Oprah were, addressing the Diddy rumors, that have swarmed them and surrounded them, especially during these times. And here's what they had to say.
First of all, I have never been near a Puff party. Never been near. And anybody who knows me knows if there is a party, I'm the first one out.
Right.
I'm the first one out.
But people love salacious stories.
Yeah.
They love salacious stories. You can tell them stories about you feeding those girls in South Africa.
They don't want to hear about that.
They don't want to hear about that at all. If you tell them about Puffy's biceps, they want to follow you all the way around the world. And I think it's because we have become so engrossed in other people's lives to keep from having our own. We are drunk off of things that don't matter to distract us from the things that do matter.
This evening, yes.
Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
I know.
And if you watch the timing of it, the intoxicant always comes out while something big is happening that we need to be paying attention to. And we pay it no attention because we are engrossed in counting up something that is salacious and not true.
You're not true.
I stopped by Puffy's house for 30 minutes to say happy birthday to him during the day at 2 o'clock with staff people. And out of that came a love affair and all kinds of stuff that I have never seen.
You too?
Yes. Yes. We were sharing the same, let's get your finger on there. You can't fight it.
You can't fight it.
You can't sue it down. You can't tear it down because of a small law that is included in the way that our laws are written right now. And our people don't know that. And not only do they not know it, they help spread it.
Absolutely.
They help spread it. They help spread it. Now, I'm almost 70 years old. What do I look like? And I am a grandfather. What do I look like at this late day? But that's the kind of world that we're living in.
What do y'all think about TD Jakes finally digging in his heels about that? I feel like, why did you wait so long to kind of dig in your heels and just say, yeah, that's never been me? Like, I've heard him kind of, even like, I remember, I think it was like the top of last year where he's like, what he did say, like, what do I look like? He said that during a sermon. I think I reposted it. But it's just like, why did you take so long to flat out say, I have not been to a Diddy party, or I have not been involved with Diddy in any way, shape, or form that would be connected to the things that are being mentioned in this lawsuit right now? Why? But also, I've also had this thought when it came to TD Jakes, and it kind of resurfaced when I was listening to 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy's testimony. Well, I was reading it, but also listening to folks read through the testimony. I never understood the significance of TD Jakes partnering with Diddy. Like, I never understood why TD Jakes needed to partner with Diddy in Revolt. I never understood it. I've never heard anybody say, ooh, let me go turn on Revolt so I could listen to TD Jakes. Never. Drop down in the comments and let me know if you were running home after work or running to your laptop to play TD Jakes from Revolt. TD Jakes' sermons are everywhere. Easily accessible, readily accessible at any time of the day or night. So I just never understood the need for him to even partner with Diddy. And it's just, to me, I question why folks make certain decisions because Again, you're TD Jakes. You're TD Jakes. I'm pretty sure you and your team were well aware that Diddy has not always had the best reputation. We might have not known about the freak offs, but even before this, like Diddy is not someone who folks were praising for having an amazing reputation ever. Obviously, it was money in your pocket. Not all money is good money. So I just never understood the importance, the significance of you partnering with Diddy. I never understood that. But then also, it is revealed in Daphne Joy's, well, Jane Doe, but we know as Daphne Joy. She reveals on the stand how one of Diddy's rituals with her was watching their freak out videos, but also watching TD Jakes sermons. She never says TD Jakes, but she says enough for anybody who's paying attention to know it's TD Jakes. You know, the timeline of it all around the 2021 era, that's when Diddy was going to Brother Love, and that's when he found God. And even if you listen to Young Miami's episode of her podcast with Diddy on it, there's a section where they talk about how he started bringing her to church at TD Jakes' church, at the Potter house, right? At the Potter's house. And so these were part of his rituals with Daphne Joy, with Carisha, with everybody. All those women who he was basically employing to coordinate his freak-offs, part of their rituals was going to church, listening to sermons, praying to God, staying in the light. Like, it's so scary when you listen to her testimony. And if you're someone like me who can recall a lot of things that were said in other interviews by Carisha, and when you bring up different videos of Diddy saying, stay in the light. But when you hear Daphne Joy saying how he would tell her, stay in the light, when she wouldn't want to do these freak offs anymore. Oh, but you got to stay in the light. You tripping right now. Stay in the light. It's so scary. TD Jakes, this man was using you. This demonic demon, Diddy, Sean Combs, Brother Love, Puffy, Diddy, Brother Love, was using you and the gift God gave you to communicate God's word. He was using that as an abuse tactic. Yikes. That's why you guys have to be like, y'all who God has placed in the pulpit, y'all have to be careful. It's not, you don't need to connect yourself with all these billionaires and millionaires and this rapper and this singer. You don't got to do that. And I remember as I'm listening to her testimony and reading through it, I'm like, dang, I feel bad for TD Jakes. Because I don't think in his mind that he expected for things to go so left and his name be attached to such tomfoolery, such heinous things. Like, I don't know. Drop that in the comments. If you're leaving me a review, make sure it's 5 stars, please. Leave me a review. Make sure it's 5 stars. And let me know what you think about the TD Jakes and the Diddy of it all. But anyway, going from Diddy to Tyler Perry. Going from Diddy to Tyler Perry is so fitting because is it me or the richer these men become, the dumber they get? The richer these men become, the dumber they get. It's not a lie when folks say that money amplifies whoever you are. Money amplifies that. And I just find the Diddys of the world, the R. Kellys of the world, like at the bare minimum, I find y'all to be top-notch idiots. When you look at the Diddy case, and I mentioned the Diddy case because I'm going to correlate it to what I'm seeing in this Tyler Perry lawsuit, child. We're going to get into the Tyler Perry lawsuit, child. We still in just a couple things, child. But wow, y'all are dumb. Diddy, it never occurred to you that while I'm doing these freak offs, maybe I shouldn't use my staff to help me arrange these freak offs. Like, maybe I should not use my company cards to purchase the items, the locations, and these sex workers for these freak offs. When I'm extorting folks like Cassie's mother, maybe I should not have her wire $20,000 that she had to go take a loan out for. Maybe I should not have her wire that to my company's bank account. Are you dumb? Are you slow? Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry. I gotta ask you the same thing. Are you dumb? And I say this with love because it's like, it hurts my soul to have to talk. Well, I don't have to talk about this, but I do want to talk about it because I feel like, are billionaires dumb? Are y'all dumb? Tyler Perry. I have to say, at first, I did not think that this lawsuit was real. I was scrolling through my timeline 2 days ago, like everybody else, scrolling through my timeline, and I see, and I'm like, I keep scrolling, I see nobody talking about it, so I'm like, oh, okay, this is probably fake. It's probably fake. There's a lot of deep fake pages out here. You know, just recently I saw something where somebody was trying to say that Tyler Perry was in a relationship with Mariah Carey's old fiance or dancer or something like that. And it was just like, Tyler Perry, he's one of those people who I've seen a lot of deep fakes about. So I'm like, oh, okay, this must be a deep fake. It must not be real. Also, I'm like, the timing of this is kind of weird too, because like Straw just came out. The timeline is still in an uproar, good or bad, when it comes to the criticism of the movie. So I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird. But then I'm like, it's probably always a funny time, or it's probably always not a good time to sue Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is someone who always has content out. Like, Straw just came out this month. At the top of this month too, Tyler Perry dropped Divorced Sisters. Back in March, he had Duplicity, which was a movie on Prime Video. He also had Beauty in Black, which is a series on Netflix. She the People came out last month on Netflix, another series. Sisters and Zatima also dropped this year, new seasons. Tyler Perry has Medea's Destination Wedding that's dropping this summer on Netflix. That's 7 to 8 projects already. And we're not even in July yet. This man is always dropping a project. So I feel like in Tyler Perry's case, saying, oh, such and such just dropped this lawsuit because Straw came out, is that argument's not going to really hold up, because this man is always dropping a project. Always. He's always dropping something. So I was like, yeah, this ain't it. This ain't real. I don't think this is real. But then came the text messages. The text messages hit my timeline. And I'm looking through these text messages and I'm just like, okay.
And now it all makes sense why Tyler Perry pumps these movies out so fast, because you needed to cover a very expensive lawsuit. Now, People magazine is reporting that Tyler Perry is being sued for $260 million. Now, before we get into all of these text messages, let's talk about the facts of the case. Now, according to People magazine, he's being sued by somebody by the name of Derek Dixon, and this person is alleging that Tyler Perry had actually assaulted them and retaliation, among other complaints. Now, Dixon claimed that he had met Tyler Perry as far back as September of 2019, before he became the star of his show called Ruthless and another show called The Oval. Now, after the lawsuit had made public, Tyler Perry's attorney clapped back and said that this was a scam and that they were confident that these were fabricated claims of harassment. Yeah, that's what they all say until the text messages come out. Now, let's start from the top because we have a slew of text messages we got to get through, and I want to see if I can get them all in one video. Now, according to Dixon, this is a text thread conversation between him and Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry sends him a picture of him, looks like on a ski boat, and he says, "Nice picture. Yeah, the water does look calm." Perry replied back and says, "Nice picture, question mark?" Dixon replies and says, "Great, amazing, awesome picture." I guess that's being sarcastic. Tyler Perry replies back and said, "You don't see that stud in the nice picture?" And then Dixon replies back and says, "Yes, that's a stud." Now, in this next set of threads, Dixon had sent him a message and says, "I can call you later or tomorrow sometime." Tyler Perry replied back and says, "You have a really fresh voice and take on things." He said, "I don't know where this is going, but I laughed the entire time. I can see the world and the characters. My exclusivity ends in 30 days. What does that mean? Now, Tyler Perry goes on to say, "I want to take Losing It Out on Amazon or Netflix after that and gauge their interest. But I also want to try and get you to the right people and help you make these shows work." I guess the show that Dixon was on was called Losing It Out, and I guess Tyler Perry was attempting to pitch it to Netflix and Amazon. He goes on to say that these are not for my audience, but we need to find a home for this stuff. He says, "I don't want to miss another," and then it's blanked out, but I'm assuming he says opportunity. He then says, "You know that Eugene bought that to me first, but I didn't get it." Now, Dixon replies back and says, "Wow, I was worried that you didn't even like it, but because it's a weird concept, and thank you." Now, I'm assuming in this thread, Dixon is attempting to show that Tyler Perry was using his name and prominence and relevance to get closer to him. Now, here's where Tyler Perry starts to get pretty explicit. Now, at the top of the thread, Dixon says, "Right, and we just had a heaping dose of it, and now it's back to nothing. It's really weird." Tyler Perry replies and says, "I didn't have any contact. What are you talking about? I haven't been touched in months." Dixon replies and says, "Oh, you mean touching? I thought you meant being around people." And then he replies and says, "Jacob," whatever that means. And Dixon replies and says, "I love that you only say that when I'm being stupid. I guess the Jacob dumbass version of me." Now, Tyler Perry replies below and says, "Not dumbass, but blonde, like you're having a blonde moment." I guess Tyler Perry was trying to get him to talk more actual because that's why he was just so confused about the touching part. And this is where the conversation just takes a weird ominous twist. Now, Tyler Perry sent him a message that says, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy?" He goes on to say, "Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, a geometric." Derek Dixon replies back and says, "Giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist, question mark? That's so cool. Where you came from." And then Tyler Perry replies back and says, "Unfortunately, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that. It's so sad." He continues and says, "You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ." It's more of this, so trigger warning. Now, Tyler Perry starts off this thread and says, "I would hope you let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past this block in your mind soon." Derek replies back and says, "Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping." Based off of this entire conversation, it sounds like Derek is in some sort of therapy where he's like having these sort of like internal struggles, and Tyler Perry keeps trying to coach him into having like guiltless sex and then letting someone touch him. It's kind of strange. Now, in this portion of the thread, Tyler Perry is trying to convince Derek Dixon, of not telling the rest of the cast that they have an ongoing friendship, if you know what I mean. Tyler Perry says, "Listen to me. If you let the cast know that you and I have a new friendship, then you're opening yourself up to a lot of questions and foolishness. What you want them to know that you are there because of your talent and not because of our friendship or because Tony got you to give me the job." He goes on to say that you earned your spot like everyone else. Don't give people the opportunity to play you small or they will. Then he goes on to say, "Because when I go back to work, I'm not going to know you. I don't have any friends at work. Just professionalism is key." Derek replies back and says, "Yeah, you're totally right." Tyler Perry says, I hope you got it, my friend." He said, "Yeah, it makes total sense." And then Tyler Perry says, "Just watch the behavior of everyone around you and me on set. He said, I will. He said, don't want to give anyone an opportunity because work is work. Now, Tyler Perry continues and says, why did that photo make me jealous? You two together. Derek says, haha, I don't know. He says, just Brad, LOL. Tyler Perry replies back and says, LOL. And then Dixon goes on to say, he just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. And then Tyler Perry says, thick Derek. He said, get that Chipotle. Gross. Which makes me think that Tyler Perry was probably monitoring his social media because like, why are you looking at photos of him and then texting him like, oh, why did that photo make me jealous? Nonetheless, he replies back and says, haha, you could tell from that photo. Basically, you could tell from that photo that I'm thick. Tyler says, no, I can't. Only from your jeans. Ugh. Now, in this thread, two conversations are happening. First, they're talking about subscriptions and AdSense, and then Tyler Perry talks about getting horny. He starts off by saying, I love how I feel right now, but I don't like being horny. Testosterone. Derek says, oh, yeah, from the doctor, but it's making you feel better. And then testosterone. Oh, and then Tyler Perry says, yeah, I feel so good, but I don't like being horny. I feel sorry for the person that flirts with me. And then Derek replied back, LOL. Now, based off the text messages that we were able to read and capture, it sounded like Tyler was trying to groom him into flirting with him. Like the guy sounded confused. He was in therapy. He was an actor. He was up and coming. He didn't know much about the industry. And it felt like Tyler Perry was trying to like put him under his wing, but for all the wrong reasons. Apparently, allegedly. But if there's any more updates about this story, I'm going to keep you guys posted. This is a lawsuit I think I want to follow.
You are a billionaire. You've been a billionaire for years. You've had access to billions for years, longer than you did become a billionaire. Why put yourself in such a stupid situation with these text messages? Like, why? Just why? Like, there's no way, at the very least, there's just no way that you thought that this was a good idea. Like, there's just no way. I say this with love, Tyler Perry. Like, I love you down. I love what you've done for, employing Black actors and sowing, seeds into Black actors and Black creators. But I gotta be honest with you, big bro. Like, what is going on? Like, there's no way that as the boss of Tyler Perry Studios, the creator of everything, the producer, the director, the writer, there's no way that you thought that texting your employee like this was a good idea. Unless you dumb. I'm sorry. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way. There's just no way. Some of these, some of these text messages to me is just, I'm sorry. When Tyler sent Derek that picture and Derek responded, nice picture. Yeah, the water does look calm. And Tyler responded, nice picture. And you see Derek in all caps. Great, amazing, awesome picture, exclamation points. Tyler, this man do not fuck with you like this. Like, it's so clear this man he's not interested in this conversation. The sarcasm, the, okay, great, amazing picture. Like, the response is so, this is crazy. At the very least, this man do not want to talk to you like this, right? And then Tyler responds, you don't see that stud in the nice picture? Rude. And then he responds, LOL, yes, that's a stud. And you say, asshole. Now, listen, this is all alleged. We don't know if this is Tyler Perry for real, for real. This is all alleged in these text messages, right? But for argumentative, for semantics, I guess, whatever. Like, this is in a lawsuit. I don't think that this man would, I don't think this man would fake these screenshots. I just don't. To go this far, I just don't. But at the very least, Tyler, this is your employee. And I get it. Sometimes we're all fam in the club, right? But you the club owner, Tyler. You are the club owner. So this is not your fam. This is not your fam. You can't be texting your employees like this. I'm sorry. It's just like, no. And even in this screenshot alone, the power dynamics. Great, amazing picture. The way this man would never get a response from me again, Tyler, like, I'm sorry, like, no. This other screenshot between Derek and Tyler, allegedly, where Derek says, I know, I need to smell the roses. And Tyler responds, you are the rose. It was like, what are we doing? What? You are a whole billionaire. Why are you even putting yourself in a situation that can be easily misconstrued? This is your employee. Let's just say, just for Tyler's sake. Y'all are friends. Y'all, you know what I mean? Like, y'all cool. But this is still your employee. And then your response, but you are so blocked that you refuse to be smelt or opened. What do that mean? Tyler, please. Please. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we putting ourselves in a situation that can easily be misconstrued? Let's say right now, and I'm trying to be as objective as I can be. You know, Tyler Perry is, again, he's a pillar in our community. You know, I just saw him at the BET Awards. I've never met him personally, but Mr. Easter has. And Mr. Easter worked on Den of Kings, which is Kirk Franklin's new show. It just debuted, and the next episode is supposed to be with Tyler Perry next week. Like, Tyler Perry is somebody who, you know what I mean, is investing into my future home. Because my man, Mr. Easter, is out here working with him, you know? This is somebody that we all respect. This is somebody that we all revere. This is somebody, you know, minus the critiques aside, there are so many things to admire about what Tyler Perry has done. But I just have to be honest. Tyler Perry, you know better than this. You know better than this to even put yourself in a situation where you're communicating back and forth with an employee. You know the power dynamics. This is post Harvey Weinstein. This is post R. Kelly. This is post Kevin Spacey. This is post Woody Allen. This is post so many people. You know the power dynamics. You understand that. So I just feel like this is just careless on Tyler Perry's part. I'm sorry. I have to be honest about that. This is just, come on now. We have got to be smarter than this. Okay? Ain't gonna be, I'm a young black man doing all I can. God, protect me. I don't want to live. No, we cannot do the young black man song. No, we cannot do the Tyler Perry was gonna buy NBC. No, we can't. I'm sorry. We can't do that. At the very least, this is inappropriate. Like, you know, you cannot be texting your employee like that. Come on. Like, we have got to be smarter than this. We've got to make better decisions. You are a billionaire with content all over the place. Netflix, BET, Amazon Prime. I think maybe Hulu's the only place you haven't done a deal with yet, but maybe it's on the way. Come on. You're a powerhouse. You're a mogul. Hello? Hello? Is anybody home? Li pa fè sens. Mette tête sous épaule ou. Come on, like you cannot get caught slipping like this. It's so dumb. Come on. We have got to do better. You are the rose. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. All jokes aside, though. All jokes aside, because I do take this lawsuit seriously. This is a serious lawsuit. $260 million. That's egregious. I'm so sorry. Now, Derek, all victims should be heard, but $260 million, that is a very high amount. And I just want to make it clear that while SA is discussed, SA is one of the allegations. Actually, there are several SA allegations in this lawsuit. I just want to make a distinction that Derek was never raped. Now, you don't have to be raped to be SA'd, but I just want to make that distinction because I feel that $260 million, I would think that would correlate more with, like, that's what I would think. Yes, there were times when Derek was touched inappropriately. That is assault. You don't have to rape someone to assault them. However, I still just feel that that's a pretty egregious number for being groped, for being assaulted. Hey, I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer, but I do feel that's a huge amount. And something tells me that most likely Derek and his lawyer reached out to Tyler and said, hey, we're going to sue you for this amount of money. They probably proposed a settlement amount. And Tyler was like, absolutely not. See you in court. I don't know. I kind of wish Derek and his lawyer would have filed the lawsuit and left like the sum open. We're suing, we're not putting a dollar amount. I kind of wish that was the approach because I do feel $260 million, it just screams you're looking for a payday. That's not me invalidating what happened, okay? I'm an assault survivor. I would not invalidate anyone's experience, but I'm just solely looking on the amount and I'm just like, damn, that's a big amount. That's a huge amount. But anyway, also I feel like the lawsuit is a very like buzzwordy lawsuit. Whoever drafted this was like, listen, we're going to put some names, we're going to put some words that are very buzzworthy. I feel like the draft of the lawsuit is very dramatic. It has a lot of theatrics. It has a lot of in it. And I'm just like, bruh, I don't know how that's going to read, you know? Again, I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer. So what I say doesn't really hold up anywhere, really. But what I mean by buzzworthy, like this paragraph where it says, Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, sexually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who look up to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams, just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, Roger Ailes, and many other in the industry. Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transformed into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. There are things in life that money cannot buy. I just feel like that's so dramatic. It's giving Juilliard drama school. It's giving theatrics. Like, it's giving theatrics. But then those text messages, they correlate with a lot of the theatrics. Just saying. If you actually read the lawsuit, those text messages correlate. They correlate. They drive the instances home. Let's talk about what the lawsuit alleges. It alleges the allegations include quid pro quo sexual harassment. So that's basically when When you're in a workplace and your boss is trying to leverage your job in order to get what they want out of you sexually. Okay. So, Derek details that he was made certain promises by Tyler Perry, allegedly, that he would sell his show, produce his show, give him more work and all these things, if he would, succumb to his sexual advancements, in a nutshell. It also alleges work environment harassment, sexual harassment, workplace gender violence, violation of the Bain Act, sexual battery, sexual assault, negligent retention, intentional infliction of emotional distress, retaliation. Derek did file a complaint with the EEOC. Derek also went to his therapist for some time, and he was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder from his therapist. Okay, so Derek dotted all his I's and crossed out all his T's. He also, I want to go to this paragraph in the lawsuit too, where he says, "This is not Mr. Perry's first instance of sexual exploitation. He has demonstrated a troubling pattern of exploiting vulnerable male actors and employees, leveraging his industry power to create a cycle of hope and dependency. First, he offers aspiring actors the prospect of career-defining opportunities, roles that promise visibility and advancement. Then once they are in his professional orbit, he uses the weight of his influence to ensure them, positioning their success as contingent on meeting his demands in a quid pro quo sexual compromise. This pattern of behavior reveals a calculated use of professional power for sexual leverage." This is mentioned a couple times in the lawsuit, and what this tells me is that Derek and his lawyer are very much aware that this pattern exists because they know of other people who have gone through the same thing. Okay? Do y'all remember Christian Keys? How he suddenly came online? I think it was like December 2023. Let me find the video. And he said this.
I've kept one of these on me since 2005. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. Once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I've spoken with my attorney trying to figure out how to deal with it. It's never been about money. I literally intentionally let the statute of limitations pass. It's not about money or being able to sue. But at some point, really soon, the police report is going to be filed, and I'll turn over the recordings of the inappropriate behaviors and the inappropriate offers. And I'll turn over the paperwork for the car that was bought as an apology for offering me $100,000 to take my clothes off. And y'all can hear him. His voice is very distinctive. He showed up to my apartment and offered me $100,000 to take my clothes off. He said, "I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked." I declined because, again, scenic group. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited my apartment to offer me a job of this fall, because the lead of this particular project was going to do something else. So he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him. And I had told him over and over. And he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept something on me. I can press play and you can hear the person and you'll know immediately who the person is that's offering me $100,000 to strip. You'll know right away and it'll break your heart. He said, I don't have to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I'm like, what? Like, I'm not into that. I don't fuck around like that. I don't do that. What the fuck? What? Leave. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Get out. I thought you were my brother and my friend. This person was a brother type figure, a mentor type figure. But for you to continuously throw these opportunities, you know good and damn well, all it ever was you pretending to be a mentor trying to get some ass. You got a guy that's a billionaire and I got $3,000 in my bank account. Who they gonna believe? I was broke as fuck. But I tell you, I would have loved that $100,000. I wasn't finna sell my soul.
When you look at Derek's lawsuit and you see that Derek is coming into Tyler's orbit because Tyler met him at a party and thought he looked nice and offered him these roles. And mind you, like, Derek started making a lot of money immediately, like $16,000 per episode. Y'all have seen me work for years. I've never done any piece of TV, any piece of an episode of anything and gotten even close to $16,000 per episode. This guy had no talent whatsoever. He just looked nice and he was offered $16,000. And then you read the lawsuit and then you go back to what Christian is saying. Now, again, we don't know if Christian is talking about Tyler Perry. We don't know that. He never said Tyler Perry's name, but it kind of checks out. And the reason I want to bring that up is I think that would be the nail in the coffin for me. Right now with this lawsuit, I honestly don't see it stopping anything for Tyler Perry. I think if I were Tyler Perry, I would not want to settle this. I would take it all the way to court. Because I'm not going to sit down and settle $260 million. I'm not settling that. I'm going to fight for my name. Right? But Tyler Perry has so much support. I've seen so many of the comment sections. I see so many people making fun of Derek and saying things like, well, why were you asleep at this man's house? And what y'all are acting as if y'all have never slept over a friend's home after a night of drinking. Like, I just, listen, again, just trying to be objective here. Coercion, assault, it happens all the time. Okay? I used to work at a call center. One of the most common coercion tactics to get us to do things that we didn't want to do was being told that there would be a prize for this, or, hey, I know the goal is, I know you're supposed to have 500 calls per week, but if you get to 700 calls, you'll get this. Mind you, my job tells me all I need to do is 500 calls. Right? But if I do 600, I can get that. Okay, well, let's say I don't do the 600 calls, right? But I see the people who do the 600 or the 700 calls, and now I see the way they're being treated better. They're getting more opportunities. When they ask for time off, they get approved immediately. Meanwhile, me, who's doing my job, who's doing what I'm asked to do, I'm getting treated like I ain't do shit. So now I feel pressured to do what everybody else is doing. That's coercion. Most of you have experienced that. That's coercion. Okay? It happens all the time. It happens in so many different forms. I am hurt by this. Tyler Perry is someone, again, who is revered in our community. Tyler Perry is someone who has changed the game. And losing Tyler Perry would be a great loss. Whether you like him or not, it would be a great loss. This man has his hand in a lot of things. A lot of folks depend on Tyler Perry to pay their bills. Okay? A Tyler Perry takedown could take down a third of the industry. I'm not even trying to kid. This ain't no joke. Dead ass, it could take down a third of the industry. This is serious business. And so I hope, at the very least, for the sake of us all who have some sort of connection to Tyler Perry, that this is not true. Okay? Me being part of the BET family, Tyler Perry is a huge part of the BET family. Like, huge part. I mean, the love that I see at BET for Tyler Perry, you know, and now look at what he's doing over at Netflix. So many people have a job simply because he's bringing them content. Tyler Perry saved the Oprah Winfrey Network. Look that up and see. Oprah has said this. The haves and the have-nots was keeping the lights on at the OWN network. This man has done a lot. Whether you agree with the tropes that he uses or, you know, the stories that he tells, the fact of the matter is he's done a lot. So a Tyler Perry takedown could take down a big portion of the community. However, Tyler Perry, these text messages alone, for me, shows that you have a lack of awareness of boundaries, at the very least. I have a lot more thoughts, but I ain't gonna share them. But at the very least, it shows me you have a lack of boundaries. That's a problem for me. You have to be aware of who you are, what your position is, what the power dynamics are between you and your employees, and the fact that stupid decisions can lead to horrible consequences. We see what's happening right now with all of these lawsuits. Okay? So those are my thoughts, y'all, on the Tyler Perry lawsuit. Let me know what your thoughts are. Again, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Jessica with Things, y'all. Make sure that you're following my podcast on every streaming platform that streams podcasts. Leave me a comment, like this video. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. I will hear y'all in the next episode of Jessica with Things. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
Chasing me like waterfalls.